Alright, welcome back everybody. This time around I'm gonna install the timing set with the balance shaft timing gears and get to installing the pistons, and probably I'll get to the remain seal. I've already got the seal in it. I started early this morning and had a bear of a time getting that old gear off. Ended up having to heat it around and trying to pull it. It was a son of a gun. But I managed to get it off. It was just on there that tight from the factory. I did install this one, and there's silicone. I always put silicone underneath that woodruff key. That just helps seal it when the timing chain cover goes on. The dampener goes on. There'll be silicone here, and then damper will go on. That helps seal the shaft itself. So let's get started. I'm gonna find our timing gears. You should be able to see it in the video. There's a little dot right there, and right here's the other one. So we're gonna basically line these up on the cam. Get this close, and then I'll spin the cam around and line the guide pin up. Sit down here. So it's important to get this stuff lined up correctly, otherwise that balance shaft is going to be way out of balance and it's just going to be chaos. I'm one tooth off. Bends, because this is slanted gearing, so you can think you got it on, but as soon as it turns, then it's gonna rotate out of position. So there, we should have it right there. Get it to seat. No, I'm off one again. Alright, let's back it up one. And there we are. This dot is in the valley between the gear teeth, and this dot is on the tooth, so that matches right in there. Alright, now we're going to get our chains. This is a double roller. What did I do with the box? Oh, the box is right here. I'll show you what I got here after we get this mated and get it on there. Let's see here. So we rotate. And I have to rotate this. Get that down, and when I get it matched up, it should be like that. So, see that guide pin. Some more. It looks perfect right there. Alright, so it's hot. It's been raining last 2 or 3 days, and it's really affected my sleeping. and such. Get tired, or I fall asleep and then I wake up a couple hours later wide awake. So I was actually up at 4:30 or something this morning. Try one tooth. It looked like it's perfect, but one tooth. And I do use blue Loctite on these. There's probably not much of a chance of it coming out, but I still do. There's no sense in using red Loctite. I'm sure there's probably people that don't use anything. They just put oil on it, just like they would the head bolts or whatever. Yeah, so you can see they're lined up there. Been a while since I took this apart, so I don't remember what size I had used at one time. There must be wrench at. Kitten's crying in the background. Alright, so this is timing set they've got. Here's the part number if anybody's interested. So I'm gonna hold on to it right there. Somewhat snug them, and then I need to check my torque specs and see what we got. Cam gear. 216 inch-pounds. So I need to get the small torque wrench out and find the proper socket for it. So we're looking at 13. Alright, and I said, what, 216, I think it was? Yeah, 216 inch-pounds is what it said. Loose. Pockets tighten it. Let's see. 216. If you can see, you don't really hear the click on this one. It's more of a thud feeling click is what it feels like. Back this all the way off so I don't put the spring in it. So if you get a torque wrench, you may leave it all the way up to wherever you're torquing at for, well, every time you use it, you never take it back down. Well, I found out that you need to take it all the way back down so that spring is loose. Otherwise, it compresses the spring and it throws your torque settings all the way off. My other torque wrench that I've had for quite some time, apparently I didn't do that, and when I was rebuilding that Ford 302 engine, my torque settings were off about 10 foot-pounds. It just didn't feel right, so I compared it to a buddy's Matco, and it was off, so I used his the rest of the time, and that's when I just bought these other torque wrenches. Alright, so we got that set. If we turn it, you can see we're perfectly lined, tooth for tooth. This right here was lined because there's nothing for this thing to go. Okay, get the gasket for the rear main seal, which is this, and I'm actually going to use some aviation dope. Can't really see what it is. It's Permatex stuff. I've been using this stuff for 30 years or something. Just a very light coat on your gasket, so when you go to install something, the gasket doesn't fall off on you. Works really good on water pumps, gaskets, and a lot of your other gaskets. So basically it's just a thin coat. It acts, my buddy, he used to use 3M spray adhesive glue like we used to use on headliners. He used that on the old cork valve cover gaskets, because it seemed like every time you went to put those gaskets on, they always wanted to pop out of place or something. So that's what he showed me to do. It doesn't really happen with the rubber gaskets, and that's because it's got those pieces that stick out on the edges usually, and so when you put it in the groove, it stays in place. Alright. So I'm not sure if you can actually see what I'm doing. I'll try to turn. I got to turn this anyways. I basically just set it on there is what I did. And as soon as it tacks up, then it should stay in place. It's Pretty humid out. Yeah, humid out today. It's supposed to rain later. It rained, well, basically since I did that last video, it sprinkled when I was doing it, and it's been off and on ever since. And then it was most of yesterday and pretty much through the night, raining last night. They say we got 3.5 inches or something is what we got. Some places up northern Indiana got quite a bit more. Alright, so let me rotate this around. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. Being it's bracket and all that stuff's in the way. Flywheel won't be too hard to get in there at the end. That'd be like one of the last things that gets done. Alright, so check. See if I can get you a better view. A tough one here. Maybe if I zoom in a little, pull back a little. I think that'll work. Alright, so find the bolts for it. I got certain things in certain spots or in a bag. That way I knew what went to where, and when I grouped everything together is basically what I did. I'm trying to remember what I used. Got, let's see here. Yeah, now I forget because I got this one piece of, it's a stud. I don't remember where it went into. Crap. Where'd that this alignment piece goes in? Yeah, no, I must forget this alignment piece. I might have to pinch it with some pliers. Started. Where's my ball peen hammer? There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna stick this on here. It's just gonna help mate it. too far. I'm not sure exactly why they drill that hole that deep. I thought it would bottom out, but it didn't. Now I'm gonna get out part way. This is terrible. Ow. Get the needle loose. Pliers out. And then get it that way. This is not going my way. End of his beveled and it just keeps popping my pliers off. And there's the ring, just let go again. And there's my other micro. Let's try these ones. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but yeah, just started again. Yeah, this ain't working. Me screwing around with this, why you need music. I actually called a radio station that I always listen to talk to the program director to ask them if it's copyright infringement that somebody's listening to over the free radio while doing a video. Well, I never got a call back, and that was 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Stuff like that, it kind of pisses you off. You got place of business, they want your business, but yet they don't want to respond or anything to you to show that they actually care that you are a customer or patron or however you want to word it. And that stuff kind of pisses me off. They just want your money and that's it. So some places I won't go to anymore because of that stuff. Starting to get aggravated. Starting to move. Oh shit. what I doubt these big vice grips are going to help. Probably just going to be too big. Yeah, I figured so. They're just too big. Damn it. Oh, what to do? Try a regular pair of needle nose pliers. See if I can get on it with them. They're probably just going to slip off on me. Yeah, that's just what I figured. That hole doesn't go all the way through. There's a spot on the back. So I can't try to punch it back through. Try a big, see if I can find a drill bit. Yeah, right. See if I can start a drill bit in there, and then somewhat wedge it, I guess you could say, and pull it out that way. So that's what I'm trying now. Hopefully it works. I don't know if it's going to or not. Tap on it. Tap on the pliers. See if you can tap out. And that didn't work like I thought. I thought it was going to work at first. It's just a hair too small. Things. I'm actually back here looking in my machinist box looking for a bigger drill bit. It's just too big. It's too small. Yeah. Alright, we're going to use pliers. Crap, that ain't working either. But our ideas. Bad this wasn't a live video. You might get some thoughts on what to do. Sucks. Well, basically it's a guide pin is what that is. I'm just going to try to dry fit it. before I put any. Yeah, I better put grease on it. Where's my oil? Just put in some oil on this lip. I'm gonna wipe some on this. So you definitely want it to seal. You sure don't want a remain seal leaking on you. So I'm gonna pull the whole motor back out of the boat. Alright, and this was somewhat of a tight fit when I initially took it out. Walking it on is what I was doing here. That's why I was twisting it. There's enough sticking out. So I got lucky on that I didn't knock in. I should have known better though. But like I say, I thought it would stop, just like if you were putting the dowels in for the head or the timing cover. They're only drilled so far and they stop. I don't know why these are like they are. I have no idea. So now I've got to figure out, I know where the two short ones go. They're kind of in there tight. I don't know, seems like things are easier to come apart than they are going back together. It's just the way it is. That one started. We'll get this short one here started. I did take pictures, the top end, I think the sides of the block. I can't remember if I took pictures of the back flywheel. I'll have to go back and look and see if I did. If I did, then I can figure out where these go. I got a long one and a short one is what I've got. On that. So I'm gonna have to definitely do that because I don't remember what mounted back there. I just don't remember. It's been so long. Short there. Just seeing the lengths of how these fit in is what I was doing. I can't even get that one in because of my bracket. I might have to take that loose. So that'll be another time. So I guess next we're gonna start on getting the pistons in, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, so ready for the pistons now. A little update on the long bolt and the stud with the nut. I looked at my picture. Stud goes on this side. I got to looking at the pick and I could see the star head sticking out, and then it made sense to me why this side had the bigger hole and took the alignment pin, and this side of the gasket in hole was smaller. Well, that's because it slid over the stud and had that alignment collar on this side. Got them torqued 133 inch-pounds, I believe it was. I did have to take this off, loosen it, that way I could get in there at that. So let's get this rotated over. So we basically want it up, straight up and down, so when the pistons go in, the rods go straight down. That way we got less chance of the rod hitting the sidewalls is the reason behind that. I've got the covers that go on the threads of the rods, if I can find them. Where I put them. Stuck in one of these drawers. Maybe it's in here. I don't remember where I put them. I know I put them in there somewhere for safekeeping for the next time. Well, this slap in the face. There's so much stuff, can't find it. What in the world did you do with where I put those? I don't think they're these kits. Before I stuck them in a drawer. say not prepared as much as I thought I was. Something done. Well, I'll probably end up having to use fuel line. Cut a couple small pieces of fuel line, and I can do it. What I'm doing here is I'm oiling up the cylinders because you don't want them dry. Do them dry, you got a good chance of scratching a brand new honed cylinder, and you sure don't want that. So I'm just using this assembly glue. A lot of people use oil ATF. I'm using this slick stuff. It tends to stay on your cylinders better. Even in the heat, it doesn't run off as quick. Alright, so we got that side done. You grab the pistons off the top of this Pit Boss Brunswick smoker. So here's the pistons. We just have to figure out my numbers. Basically, when you're standing in front of an engine, you got left and right, which normally, when most mechanics are standing in front of it, they're gonna say at the right side or the driver's side, because normally when you're setting in your driver's seat, then your left side of the engine is the driver's side and the right side is the passenger side. Most guys, when they're working on it, because they're standing in front of the engine, use the right side. Oh, that's your 246, or if it's a V8, 2468 and such. So basically, the right side is what I'm going to refer to of the engine, because I'm standing in front of it, and that's what I'm going to start on, is cylinder number 2. And because the engine had never been apart or rebuilt, I initially used a marker, permanent marker, and I marked on the rod caps, and the machine shop stamped them for me. So each one's got a number, and that's where each one will go into the cylinder. So basically what I got to do is check each one and make sure that the pistons were put on properly, because basically you've got your grooves inside. There you can see it there. You get your grooves inside, and those are going to always go to the outside. So if, say, this is, well, let me get the proper one. Let me find number 2. All right, so this is number 2, and right there's the grooves. So the grooves are going to be out this side. So when I'm looking at it, that's the way it's going to go in, and you can see they were, piston pins were lubed up very well when they were pressed on. So that's kind of how it's going to set in there. Now they've got ring gaps. The shop actually installed the rings for me, so I need to offset them. And I don't know, I'll probably do, because on each side of the piston you really can't see it. Maybe if you look inside, you can see down in here, right here, you can see the actual part of the oil ring. There's one on both sides. So wherever my ring, 2 top rings end up, they cannot be close to that. I need to offset them. So maybe one here, and then my other one will be off something else. But there's also ring gaps for the oil rings, because there's 2 shims on each top, the side and the bottom, because of the oil. So if I got the oil one here, then I need to like put that one there. You basically offset it in 3 different marks. So if we have one here, then I go one here, and then the other one over here, almost in a triangle type pattern, is how it will be. Alright, so I need to first put some oil on the outside on the rings, that way they're not dry. And I need to take my rod caps off, and I will get a towel ready and set these things to the side, that way they're not going to be damaged. Kind of looks like the mechanic or the machine shop installed new rod bolts. That's what it looks like. I don't know if they show that they look all like brand new and stuff. That's pretty awesome of them. So I'm going to use 30 weight oil to wipe the piston, and I'm going to use the slick stuff in the cylinders is what I'm going to do, because I don't need a whole lot on the piston. So I'll get oil on it. Don't need a ton. In the old days they used to just dip the piston in, and I'll put some on the skirt. I don't need a whole lot. Alright, then I need it's a fuel line. Ooh, it's too much change fluid. It's coming out of that line. That's some diesel fuel coming out of the line. That'll work. I need to find the things that go on the end of that. Alright, now for the pistons. So the way the pistons go in order, if you're sitting in the driver's seat, manufacturer technical terms would be that side of the engine block is the right side, which is 135, and the other side is cylinder 246. Is when you go to set your timing, you set the distributor so the rotor is pointing at number 1 when your timing marks are at top dead center. So let's get the cylinder lubed up. I already wiped it out. Because we want the pistons, the rings to slide easily into place without scraping or scarring, or however you want to term it, the cylinder walls after it's been bored and honed out. So same on this. Too much isn't going to hurt anything. You can get oil on wherever, but we're going to clean all that off when we go to put the heads on. So that's not a problem. Alright, look at piston number 2. Alright, here's number 2.
Look okay?
Here's number 2. And the dot is going to face the back. That way our mark, or the dot's going to face forward, because we want the mark facing outside of the block. Get this skirt strap down. Check our ring, where our rings are. We got one here, and the other one is right here. So we got one there, and one there. So we're good on that. Get the ring compressor. Get this set in. Alright, I'm going to hold it down to make sure everything stays flat. And then I'm going to take my hammer and tap it down in. There we go. Alright. Then we're going to rotate the engine back over. Rotate the engine back over to where we can see the rod. Check the camera, make sure you guys can see what's going on here. Alright. So now we're here. And basically the bearings are on, and now I'm gonna just tapping it through, and we're gonna set it right on the thing there. I've got lube on the bearing already. So it's got lube on that side. Alright, now I'm gonna rotate the crank some. And it should seat right in. Alright, we're mated. And pull these off. Let's be ready for the next one. And we'll grab number 2. Number 2 rod cap. And like I say, there's a 2 stamped on each one. The groove, we got the groove to match up. And if you don't match them up properly, they're not gonna go on right. I was just using my armory hammer when I was building the AR-15s. Alright. Rod cap bolts. Like somebody's having a little fun, like a AR going off in the background. Alright, and then let's see. I'm just gonna snug these to the little bit, and then I'm gonna check our specs on the torque. So this is a 9/16. And I need to change, yeah, that's a 5/8. 5/8 there. Take that out. So I need to find the 9/16, those are metrics. There we go. 9/16. So the rod torque specs, push rods are like 20 foot-pounds, and then another 70 degrees. It should come out to about 45. So we're going to set this to 20. that's 20 right there. Alright, let's see what we get. 20 don't seem like a whole lot. Alright, so that's 20. So 70 degrees is almost to a 90 degree, so it's almost like we're going here. Let's see here. Yeah, we're going from here to about right there is about what it should be, and it should come out to about 45 is what it should be, so we're going to find out. So we're going to start right there, and we're going to stop about right here. Looks right. That's probably pretty close, and then we're going to turn it up to 45, and we're actually going to see. So I'm going to do it down here. That's about 70 right there. Okay, so I'm going to take it up to 45 and see, because like I say, that's about where it should come out to about 45 foot-pounds. Alright, so we're set on 45, so let's see what it is. Right there, it's barely off of 45. So it was barely off, so that 20 plus another 70 degrees is very close to 45, and I know some of the specs call for 45. The machine shop looked in the book, he said 20 foot-pounds and then 70 degrees. So the 45 is where it's getting. I think it was for Mercruiser specs, I believe, is where I read that at. So that's what it is. I'm gonna do the other one. I'll be right back. Alright, so now we're going to do piston 4. I'm going to put it in, and then I'm going to do the rest of them off camera, that way you don't get bored. I'm going to do the best I can explaining it to make it easy and stuff. So before you put your bearing in, wipe it, make sure it's clean, because you don't want anything under it, because then it lifts the bearing up and you're going to get premature wear, and you don't want that. So get it to set in a little groove. Push it down. Tap it with the jeweler's hammer. Make sure that, I'm just trying to make sure it's flush right here at the top. I mean, you can be off a hair, and when you pinch the two halves together, it'll somewhat straighten it out, but if you're off too much, it's probably going to bind it. So it's kind of sometimes can be a little iffy. Alright, and use some oil. So I get some oil on my rings and my skirt. Alright, check my groove. My groove's right here, so it's going to go that way. The dot's going to be forward on this side, and then I'm going to check and see where my ring gaps are. If I go there, get that one there. So I got the one over here, and I need to get this one there. So let's see here, too close. Let's see here, so rotate that. So there, and there, so it should be good. Alright, so, and I got these already on. To set in there. All right. Over time, your hands start to really become greasy, and in a sense, it kind of sucks. All the way around, it's nice and flat. I got my piston in, dots pointing that way, it should be that way. It's nice that they put markers on these things. There used to be like a notch in them also. And recheck my ring gaps. Got one there, one there. That looks good. Alright, get it pressed down, and then I can tighten this down. So my hands are getting all slick, and it's getting hard to hang on to stuff without it twisting on me. Alright, now I can tap it down. Oh shit. Now my clamp came off. I popped the ring partially out. So I need to hold it down a little bit better. This is my bottom ring partially in. Back come off. I don't know, I'm keeping it flat. It's just wanting to pop out on me. I'm thinking the ring pliers probably would have worked out a lot better. just going to pop the piston back out and start with it back out. At this stage, I don't want to be breaking any rings, that's for sure. I'll have to keep my eye out for those ring compressor plier set. It's probably similar to what I used when I was the steel engine technician and stuff. They were kind of nice. Just basically clamped them, and they held fairly easy. Make sure this is sitting flat. I want it to stay flat. I guess it's not a good thing with these. All right, we're down. Alrighty, flip it over. You can see where I'm at. I'm going to rotate the crank. Make sure you can see what I'm seeing here. I guess you can. Look. Alright, so we'll rotate the crank some, and this is when it starts to get tough. Alright, so this is why I need the harmonic balancer on there. Let me blow it off. I'd put a pipe wrench on it, but I don't really like doing that. Because I don't want the scars, is my problem with it. Let me tap it up some more. I need to have it all the way down on its full stroke. And I did not do that. So, oops, wrong. You'd think with all the tapping, I would be hurting the piston. That's why I'm using a wood handle. It's not hurting it. Alright. Let me get these things off here. Alright. Just sit down. Give it a couple taps. This is simple. And looks like these nuts are basically already pre-lubed. So that's kind of why you haven't seen me put any oil on them. Alright. Torque, and we'll go to 20 because that's what I got wrote down from the machine shop. Yeah, 20 right there, plus 70 degrees or 45, so that's why I'm checking on that. So I'm gonna start down here, and I should end up somewhere about right here. I think that's 70. You don't want to torque something, you don't want to yank on it fast. Just kind of do it slow. If you do it fast, it's going to throw it off. Alright, so now I'm going to take it up to 45 and we're going to check how close I got to it. Alright, let's see. Off a little more on that one. Wow, it's kind of surprising that was off that much. Let's check this. Yeah, I'm good there. So I always like to go back and recheck something I've already torqued. I've done it a couple different times. Just to be safe. I mean, you don't want to go back and redo. I have to redo all this stuff because where's the enjoyment on doing that? Alright. So I'm going to do the rest of these off camera because I'm hopefully didn't bore you to death. So when I come back, I'll have all 6 pistons in. I'll get the other 4 in. So we'll see you in a bit. Alright, so I finally got them in. And you can see all of them. timing. Get all them in. Like I said earlier, the cover down here is that's torqued and stuff. So maybe tomorrow I get to the heads and I don't know, I might do the oil pump first, I'm not sure. But possibly the heads. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I went and checked all my torques. Once I went back around, and they were all good. So subscribe and like, and that help me out, and I get more subscribers so I can finish this boat. Once this gets built, then things get a little more interesting and a little more fun, I guess. I don't know. So we'll see you till next time. Later.